Everyone wants better self-control to eat healthier, exercise more, sleep on time, and stop doom scrolling. The problem isn't that we don't know what to do, it's that we don't listen to ourselves. We chase surface fixes, new habits, diets, productivity hacks, but deep down we know, if we could simply master self-control, everything else would fall into place. For decades, psychologists thought self-control was a personality trait, something you were born with or trained into. Then came a breakthrough. Self-control isn't a fixed trait. It behaves more like a limited resource, a mental battery that drains when we regulate emotions or endure stress. This explains why after a hard day of restraint, we end up ordering pizza instead of salad. Every act of suppression, every don't say it, don't snap, stay calm, quietly drains that battery. But newer neuroscience changed everything again. Using EEG scans, researchers found that what we call self-control actually lives in one brain region, the anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, the part that monitors internal conflict. And here's the paradox: self-control isn't the act of suppressing an impulse. It's the act of noticing the conflict between impulse.
Okay, can you please spell Gabbana? Hello?
When we stop monitoring that conflict, when attention drifts, control collapses. Think of it this way: as long as you're aware of the tug-of-war between "I want pizza" and "I should eat healthy," you still have a choice. The moment you stop paying attention, your hand's already reaching for the slice. This discovery explains everything we knew before. Emotional suppression kills self-control because it shuts down internal awareness. Stress does the same by forcing your brain to focus outward, on the threat, not on yourself. So how do you rebuild control? Not by forcing discipline, but by restoring awareness. If you're emotionally overwhelmed, regulate first: therapy, journaling, a walk, anything that helps you feel. If you're stressed, redirect attention inward. How do I feel right now? What's going on inside me? Awareness re-engages the ACC. And as it turns out, awareness is control. That's why meditation works. It's not about forcing the mind to be calm, it's about observing the inner dialogue. Yogis understood this thousands of years ago. The more clearly you can see your own conflict, the more power you have over it. So don't try to just do it. Instead, just notice it. The longer you can stay aware of your internal battle, the more control you will have naturally, scientifically, and sustainably. The neuroscience of financial self-control. Let's be honest, most people don't have a money problem, they have a self-control problem. We all want to save more, invest smarter, spend less, stick to our budgets, and stop panic selling the moment the market dips. But if we're really honest, we don't listen to ourselves. You tell yourself, "I'll stop eating out this month," and then you don't. You tell yourself, "I'll hold through the correction," and then you sell in panic. So you start searching for how to budget or how to become a disciplined investor. But deep down, you already know, if you just had more self-control, everything else in your financial life would improve. The real question is, what actually is self-control? And why do we lose it the moment stress or temptation shows up? For decades, we've treated self-control like a personal trait, something you're either born with or trained into. But neuroscience tells a different story. Self-control is not a trait, it's a resource, and it depletes. Every time you resist buying something you don't need, every time you stop yourself from checking your portfolio again, or every time you hold back from emotional spending after a rough day, you're spending that resource. And the two biggest drains on it: emotional regulation and stress.
Come on, stop this.
When your emotions are running wild, when you're angry, anxious, or suppressing frustration, your brain burns through self-control like fuel. And when you're stressed about work, relationships, or bills, your brain diverts all its attention to external problems, survival mode, leaving nothing left for long-term decision-making. That's why the same person who can stay disciplined for 6 months suddenly breaks one day and blows through their savings. It's not about weakness, it's biology. In the last few years, neuroscientists discovered something revolutionary. Self-control isn't really control at all. It's conflict monitoring, your brain's ability to stay aware of the internal tug-of-war between impulse and intention. There's a region in your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex, ACC. It doesn't control you, it monitors conflict. When you feel that tension between "I want to buy that" and "I shouldn't," the ACC lights up. As long as it stays active, as long as you're aware of the conflict, you remain in control. But the moment you stop paying attention, you lose the battle. That's why so many bad financial decisions feel like they just happen. You don't consciously decide to buy the expensive gadget or open the trading app. You just stop monitoring the inner argument, and before you realize it, your money's gone. Here's the twist. Self-control doesn't come from forcing yourself to behave better. It comes from noticing the moment you start to lose control. Think about it. When you're stressed, your mind turns outward, toward the problem, the bills, the risk, and away from your internal signals. When you're emotionally drained, you shut down awareness just to survive the day. And that's exactly when financial mistakes happen. The solution isn't more discipline, it's more awareness. That's why mindfulness and journaling have such a strong correlation with better financial behavior. Not because they make you calmer, but because they keep your brain's monitoring system active. You're literally training your conflict awareness muscle, the same circuit responsible for self-control. So how do you use this in real life? Stop suppressing your emotions, observe them. Don't ignore the guilt, anxiety, or fear behind your spending or investing habits. Label them. The act of labeling restores awareness, which restores control. Reclaim your attention from stress. You don't need to eliminate stress to make good decisions. You just need to notice when it's hijacking your focus. Take a walk, breathe, check in with your body before checking your brokerage app. Practice daily awareness, not daily discipline. Meditation, journaling, or even a 10-minute reflection on your money choices keeps your conflict monitoring system sharp. The more self-aware you are, the more consistent your financial behavior becomes. Redefine discipline. Discipline isn't grinding harder, it's staying conscious in moments when your impulses try to take the wheel. The moment you lose awareness, you lose control.